The Naval Postgraduate School is typically shopping around from East Coast and West Coast venues, typically academia, not-for-profit research institute. So I brought up to the Naval Postgraduate School, why don't you have an hour north here at Stanford Research Institute, our headquarters at Menlo Park, California. They agreed to it, and we started the dialogue, and we've just manifested it in fruition the 18th to 21st of June of this year.
Well, what it does is it brings in the top people in different wheelhouses, if you will, from the private sector of industry to military folks in Washington, to ex-military folks that might maybe in the private sector, as well as academia and think tanks. And one of the biggest problems with solving the cyber problem, if you will, is getting all those heads in the same room to try to develop some better ideas about the best strategy and policy to counter the threats facing the U.S. as well as our Western and Eastern partners, for that matter. Anybody who loves liberal democracy. So getting these people together to start thinking about the same things, I think is very important, especially with things like they're countering Russia and China. I think the democratic world needs to stand with one voice, with the U.S. leading it, and I think this conference, bringing in our European partners, was one of the best ideas that we've had for these conferences so far.
Well, frankly, it's right in our face. We're seeing it happen every single day. It's in our news. It pervades every aspect of our lives right now, and we all understand that. And so it's critical that we all come together to identify, first to understand the problem, and to identify potential solutions. But those solutions can only come in a collaborative way. And these types of venues offer that opportunity, that platform for us to be able to discuss the issues and be able to find common approaches to problems. Because there's no one organization that can actually deliver solutions that would challenge and compete against, let's say, the Russians in this case, alone. This requires it's an all-in proposition. It requires all of our efforts, all of our skills and talents, and our investment to be able to kind of deliver any kind of competitive advantage. And that's why these venues are so critically important.
People take these ideas back to their respective commanders, to their respective research ideas, to their respective bosses, to maybe facilitate some of the agreed upon ideas that happened at the time, to hopefully maybe get a more streamlined policy idea that down the road will inform better policy against the greatest threats we have in this domain. We're still learning a lot. We have so many questions and we've only answered a few of them. And conferences like this keep asking the questions that we need answered. This isn't going to be an overnight answer. It's going to take a long time, but I think advising the best policy forward where escalation and possibly armed conflict does not happen as a result of conflict in the cyber domain is the main goal.
In my opinion, such event, in particular this Cyber Endeavour conference, is extremely important and useful for us, for Ukrainian participants, and we highly appreciate invitation and participation in this forum. As you know, we faced Russian aggression. On daily basis, we try to protect Ukrainian society with Russian disinformation, with Russian fakes, with Russian cyber attacks. Here in this forum, in such conference, we have ability to share our thoughts, to speak with practitioners, to speak with people with great personal experience in the field of information operations, counter cyber activities. So, without any doubt, this conference is extremely useful for us.